What up people, I'm Sama from ANTT Robotics and welcome to the first ever episode of IoT Hacks presented to you by School of IoT and powered by ANTT Robotics. Well, in this new series, we are going to look at the features and possibilities of the School of IoT Development Kit and also going to do some included projects that comes with it. So let's get going. So as far as I can see in my script and presentation here, well, it's pretty much simple. We're going to do our first project. It's called controlling LEDs using IoT. So it's an IoT based LED control project and we're going to make it and see what it can do actually. So what are the possibilities of this project? Well, just think we can just without even going, for example, you're outside your home and you forgot to turn off the lights. So what you can do, you're obviously wasting electricity and duh. So you just log into School of IoT and you can just turn your LED off and on from anywhere in the world using the power of the internet. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and it was pretty awkward, I don't know why. So let's get going. For this project, we're going to need very simple stuff. We're going to need School of IoT Development Board, obviously. We're going to need a breadboard. You can even skip on that if you have a lot of jumper wires. We're going to use this jumper wires, 2 LEDs, and 220k ohm resistor. So, and also a cable to just power this thing, to upload our program on it. So everything's done. Okay, let's get going with the hardware overview of it. So why we're using these components? Well, we're obviously going to use the LEDs to turn on and off to demonstrate our project. We're going to use this breadboard for connections, jumper wires too, and the main protagonist of this whole series, the School of IoT Development Board. And along with that, you can see that there are resistors. So where are we using resistors? Well, you see, the School of IoT board just gives out a lot of current, so we are just going to kind of reduce it so that our LED doesn't burn out for long-term use. Aside from that, we're good to go. Let's set up our board. As we have taken our breadboard, let's take the LEDs. Now, at first we connect our LEDs. Let's do something quite necessary, and we're going to make our ground common, obviously. So let's connect it here. Does it look good here? No, I guess it looks better here. So we've connected our ground pin. Let's connect our LEDs. I'm using a white and a red. You can use anyone you want. So yeah. Okay, let's connect the. Make sure you connect your right polarities because it's an LED. So the long one here is the long pin here is actually anode and this one is cathode. All right, so it's cathode is negative and anode is positive. So let's connect it using that. Okay, does look good here. Let's connect it here. It doesn't look good that good. Okay, so let's connect our okay, which one reconnect? So we've connected our LEDs. Let's connect it with the School of IoT board. But at first we're going to use this 220 ohm resistors. Now, as I have mentioned earlier, resistor is used to kind of letting this current because it's going to burn our LEDs soon. So resistors don't have a polarity, which is a good thing. So we don't have to worry about things like that. So let's connect this resistor with the anode pin here. Okay. We connected the resistor. Right, so our eraser is connected. Now let's move on with connecting this whole setup with the School of IoT board. Now you're going to take a mil-to-mil wire, like two of them actually. So we're going to use this two. We're going to use this two. So we have connected these the anode connections with in here. Now we're going to connect with our ground. So let's connect it. Okay, I guess we can just directly connect it with the ground without using a jumper wire and making a mess, so it looks good. So let's connect. Alright, we have connected it. Now let's connect our another LED the same way also. It kind of looks good on less wires, not gonna lie. We're just making it as simple as possible. So our grounds are connected with the cathodes. Now we're going to connect our anode with the relays here. So what does a relay do? Well, a relay just kind of gives external power and connects another. You can get all this hardware details by in our website anttrobotics.com, and also you can see the another hardware project video made by one of our colleagues in the ANTT Robotics. So let's giving on that technical details part. Let's just continue with the schematics. So let's see, this one is going to be relay 1. Alright, so we're going to connect the white LED here. Now we're going to connect this with the, let's unscrew it. Right, we're going to connect our anode with the no pins. It's no pins, it means not common, I guess. Yeah, it means not common. So we're going to connect our these pins here. We're going to connect our positive side of the anode of the LED with the common pins and pins. We have, and the rest of the 2 pins, we're going to not use this NC pins. Although NC is not common, sorry, it means something else. Anyways, let's move on. So let's take our jumper, male to female jumper wires, and connect it with the common pin. So it's the COM pin here, and it means common, so we're connecting it with the common. Right, now we've connected our common pins. So now we're going to connect the common with 5 volt pin here. Well, this LED actually need 5 volt. I don't think so. We could just use 3 volts. So let's connect with 5 volts anyways. So let's connect it. Let's connect the common pin with the 5 volt. School of IoT board. Now we're going to connect our ground with ground in School of IoT board. So our hardware setup is done. It was pretty easy, except I just took a lot of time explaining. Otherwise it's pretty easy. It just takes like a minute or so. Now we are done doing everything here. We are done setting the hardware up. Now we're going to program these our School of IoT board using a cable. But before that, we're going to set up our software. So let's move on to the software part and set this whole thing up. So here we are in the School of IoT dashboard, and you can pretty much see
Like here we have a lot of stuff. We have a pie chart, the switch, bird chart, a field view, and a lot of other stuff. So what we're going to do now is set up our School of IoT for our project, and now we're going to then control the LEDs. So to do that, first we need to add an equipment. So to do that, let's go to equipments, then add an equipment, select add an equipment, name it. So we're going to name it light control. Right, so here is a description. We can give a description or we cannot, like it's totally your choice, but let me give a description. It's School of IoT project 1. Alright, so let's do the other stuff. Now you can see that there are a lot of things that are happening here. So add an icon. You can choose whichever icon you want, but I'm going to choose this icon, and now we're going to add an action. So let's add an action. So here is our action. Let's name it relay 1. Alright, and we're going to select our action type. Name it a boolean. Now we're going to set our action's default value. So now we have done that, let's add another action. We're going to name it relay 2. Same thing, we're going to select action type boolean, and then we're going to also select the default state 0. Now let's save it, and we have done this. Now let's go to register equipment. Now we're going to register equipment. We're going to find our this equipment we named, this new equipment. So let's see where it is. It's light control. Alright, so let's select light control. It's now registered, and now you can see that there are a lot of numbers below it. So we're going to copy this token number. This is called token. So we're going to copy this thing, and we're going to go to our Arduino IDE. Now here you can see that there's we're going to select it. After selecting it, we're going to paste it. So this was a previous token of the previous project, but we're going to just paste it here. So now we've pasted it. Now we're going to go to dashboard, then we're going to select switch. So after selecting switch, what switches mean is we're going to actually make an interface to turn the LEDs on and off. Now let's name the switch relay 1, or let's then make it let's register it to light control, and that's our register stuff. Now we are going to select the action. We are going to select the relay 1 action. We're going to save it. Now we're going to add another switch that is going to be relay 2. We're going to name it relay 2. You can also name it whatever you want. You can name it LED 1, LED 2, light 1, light 2. So now we're going to register. We're going to select the thing which is registered, light control, and repeat the same thing, but now we're going to select action relay 2. So now we've done that. It's all done. Let's see if everything's alright. So after that's done, we have uploaded our Arduino code. Now let's see.
Alright, so now we've set up our software part and uploaded the code, and everything's done. Let's see what it does. Alright, so we have connected our School of IoT with the power supply. Now let's see how it works. So we're going to and also remember one thing, that when you disconnect the power, it is disconnected from the internet. So to connect it from the internet, we're going to press this enable button. Alright, so we have pressed the enable button. Now let's see how it works. So we're going to turn LED number 1 on. Okay, let's log into our dashboard, and alright, so we're logging to our dashboard. Now we're going to see the code. Let's connect it. Well, here you have it. Our LED number 1 is turned on, and now we're also going to turn on our LED number 2, which is the red one. So you can see it's powered on and everything. Now you're going to be asking that, why are these two LEDs turned on? Well, because it's a kind of the same connection, it's an indicator. So if you just want to get start right off the bat, you can just connect the School of IoT and use these two LEDs. So we're using external LEDs as a proof of concept. So let's turn these LEDs off as it's kind of the internet. Now another thing is, well, as it's part with the internet, we're going to connect it using control it using our mobile device. So let's control it using our mobile device. Now I'm connected with the School of IoT dashboard. We're going to reload this page. Here you see it's a very nice user interface in the mobile version here. It's far better than the PC version. So now we're going to turn our LED on from our iPad. So let's connect it. Whoa, it's turned on. So you can basically control it from anywhere if you're connected with this whole bunch of computers called the internet. So that will be it. That's pretty much it for our today's project, and see you on the next project where we will discuss more about the possibilities of School of IoT. We will look into more features. We're going to know what all this thing does, and also we're going to utilize everything in this 10 episode series. It's me, Mahmoud, and signing off of today.